All right, everybody, I think, let me just double check. Everything looks like it's live today. And looks like we are live all at the same time. I've got the cameras now a little bit together. And I just hope that all the sound is good. I'm actually going to take the swatch off because it's making a noise. And so let's wait a couple of minutes. And looks like people are wanting to come in. A couple of people on YouTube. And let's wait a minute or so here. Okay, I got a minute in. And looks like my YouTube sound is good because it's showing me right here. All right. So, everybody, I'm going to get started because this is going to stay recorded in any case. And so you can watch it later. But right now I got to get started because later on, if you saw the ad that I posted, I am going to be doing this same live in Spanish, and then at 7 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be doing it in Portuguese. So that is something that I'm going to be doing pretty much on a daily basis, unless I am unable to do a live. But I do not want to be kind of, strangled down by things. Sometimes stuff comes up and I'm not able to do a live. So I'm going to kind of leave it open for right now. So welcome, everybody. This is now Tuesday, the second live that I am doing about small business growth and how to grow your business in 2020. If you're a small business owner, then welcome. I know that this right now is mostly going out to friends and family because those are the people that are on my social networks. And eventually, I know that as the sharing goes around, we will get more people coming in. But my goal, my dream, if people are wondering why I'm doing these lives, why I've decided to now, start teaching about small business growth, and especially in 2020, well, that's because I've actually had this on my heart for many years. I've been an entrepreneur. I started, playing around with businesses since I was probably like 16 or 17, and started a design business when I was still in high school, designing for banks. Designing signage for banks. And eventually then, I had a few other small businesses after that kind of led to making clocks while I was working at another company. But I'll kind of get into detail about that as you get to know me and as I share my life with you. But entrepreneurship has always been on my heart. And now I'm very, very fortunate to have a few businesses and being able to be very blessed by these businesses and how things are going. But it was about 2012, 2013, 2012, I think, when I was pretty much got a little frustrated. I had spent about 4 or 5 years really working day and night, building up one of my businesses, my main business right now. And literally working day and night for 5 years. And I saw that because of 2008, a lot of businesses closed and still in 2012, 2013, even though the economy, at least in the United States, had really rebounded quite a bit before that, I still saw that a lot of businesses were shutting down. And I was just kind of observing and, always observing and studying and kind of looking at businesses and how entrepreneurs and business owners do their thing. I realized that there's a lot of principles, very basic stuff, attitudes, principles, things that people do that literally end up destroying the business. And at that point, I actually have here my notebook, which I've had since this notebook I've had since 2004, and it's not the only notebook that I have, but it's a notebook that I exclusively write business stuff. And this is where I wrote I know that this is kind of all over the show. All right, that's the oxymoron, the small business destruction guide. That was the whole outline. I wrote this literally in a few minutes because, and that's, and after that, I actually wrote a follow-up book, and 2 follow-up books that I'll probably develop with time as things progress. I'll probably write those 2 books as well. But that is what was scribbled down, jotted down back in 2012, 13. It was around that time. I didn't put any a date on this page, but because of where it's written, and afterwards I took some seminars and stuff like that. That's where a lot of notes after that come. And so by the time stamp of those other notes, I kind of realized, I kind of know that I did that. And I kind of remember exactly where I did that. That was when I had my studio up in a building that I own in Lowell, Massachusetts. But I wrote that in 2012, 2013. And then I, continued to do my business. I kind of forgot about that. And eventually, last year, I decided, you know what? I'm really going to start focusing on getting into what I really like doing, which is consulting in a professional manner. I've done multiple courses and studies and seminars on marketing and marketing consulting. So I hadn't really done it as a profession, and not on a paid basis. Okay, although I have consulting clients literally, very consistently. The thing is that last year I started getting back in the game, and today you're going to find out, that's the title of this video, the mine, okay, the biggest mine in the world. And I had to literally go to this mine and start accessing the riches that are in this mine. You'll learn in a minute where that mine is. I will give you the codes and the access, the keys for this mine. For you, it's literally having to drive there, fly there, get there any way you can in order to get the riches, to literally get the wealth that is in this mine. It's going to be up to you, but I'm going to give you everything that you need. It's kind of, like I mentioned in a previous, I think in yesterday's video, or in maybe something that I posted, it's a place that, it's a mine that not too many people really know exists, and not too many people access it. So, but a lot of wealth, a lot of riches in this mine. But at the beginning of 2019, that's when I made my, firm decision. I'm going to get back in the game and start doing consulting professionally. So I studied all of last year. I read probably 30 books, over 30 books last year. And at the beginning of this year, I hadn't seen this draft. So the Small Business Destruction Guide was not, I didn't see this until I was looking for some information for what I was, already starting to do. So, created the brand, the Go Marketing Consultants, and all of that, the Go brand. And so I started paging through this book, and that's when I saw the outline of the Small Business Destruction Guide. And that's when, around the end of February, that's when I started, sat down and started writing the book. Okay. Why am I telling you all this, folks? Because unless you understand why I'm doing this, it's pointless. I can sit here and tell you about, all these wonderful principles and marketing strategies and marketing whatevers. And at the end of the day, you'll just be a business owner that, you maybe you learn some nice stuff and you really didn't change anything. And so the Small Business Destruction Guide, although these lives are not really to promote this book, and I was thinking about this last night, it's like, why not? I wrote this book. I believe in this book. I believe in what's in here. I've already gotten feedback from people that are saying that, yeah, it's helping them. It's helping them change their mindset, which is what we spoke about yesterday. And it's helping them to kind of not, fall into the mistakes and the traps, the mental and psychological and the principles, the natural principles that, we break that, will cause your business to be destroyed. So, Small Business Interaction Guide. It's on Amazon. Just Google my name, Ozzy Simoes, on Amazon, KDP, and this book will show up. My other book will also show up from my other business, and that actually became a bestseller in 2015. But this is the book that is specifically about small businesses. So if you're a small business owner and you want to grow your business and you don't want to be affected by pandemics and situations and things, then I just encourage you. It's a passion of mine, and I mentioned this in yesterday's live. If you haven't seen it, go back and see it. It's I think it's still on Instagram, YouTube, definitely on there, and Facebook, it'll be on there. I'm very thankful for all the people that subscribed or signed up or following me on the Go It's Yours for the Taking business page that I have that's specifically for the Go brand and what I'm teaching here. So thank you very much. And if you want to share and share that with friends and family, especially people that are either business owners or want to be business owners. So if they're business owners want to be, then awesome. That is also something that you want to share with those, because trust me, a business wannabe that reads this book is going to, if you're already a business owner, no matter for how many years, and you are committing some of the crimes that are, outlined in this book, I call them crimes because, you can avoid them. And, it's a crime because you'll destroy your business, and, anything that is destructive is a crime. So, if you're a business wannabe, or if you know somebody that's a business wannabe and they read this book, okay, I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to mention it again. It's very, very easy to read book. Okay, I'm not a scientist, a doctor, a biologist, none of these ists or doctor of anything. But so it's written in very simple, plain English. Okay, I am going to translate this into Portuguese and Spanish, obviously, but it's taken me a lot of time. So eventually I'll do that once I get things on a roll and this things a little bit smoother. But get this book, and it's going to help you out, especially if you're a small business wannabe. So share with your friends. So thank you again very much for the people that are following me now on Go It's Just for the Taking. I'm still recording this in my Facebook personal page. I'm not in the Go It's Just for the Taking. Why? Because I believe I still have a lot of people and friends and a lot of my friends and family from Facebook that are in on my personal page. Okay. But eventually I will go to the Go It's Yours for the Taking. And I believe that eventually I will just stick to Instagram and YouTube to do these lives because of the platform and how the platform really helps to get these out. And the more people like and share and comment and everything, those platforms actually help you to get your message out a lot faster and a lot smoother. So Facebook doesn't really do that. So that is my introduction. Again, why am I doing this? Because I'm passionate about small businesses. I just, look, the statistics are these, guys. If you have a small business, I don't know how long you've had your small business for, or if you just started it. If it's under 2 years and you may be struggling, okay, read this book. This is the 0 to 24 months. Okay, it's the lifetime of a 0 to 24 month business entrepreneur mentality, mistakes that you make. Okay, and basically you read this, maybe you can correct those mistakes before you literally have to shut down. If you're doing great, well, hallelujah, let's connect, let's help each other. I believe a lot of people here can help me, I'm sure, and I want to be able to help you as well. But the statistics are this, and when I did the introduction of the book, which is after I wrote the whole content of the book, then I went back and I was going to write the introduction. I did a little bit of research about small businesses. Okay. And as soon as I Googled it, obviously I get into the small business, the United States Small Business, SBA, Small Business Administration, and the stats were there. And I talk about it in the book, right in the introduction. I was kind of dumbfounded. I did not know that small businesses are, well, I have the numbers here from a webinar that I did just a few days ago. So the 2019, so the stats I actually got from the book were, I believe, 2018 stats. And this is now 2019 stats that I scribbled down here. 30 million small businesses, over 30 million small businesses in the United States, okay? It's 44% of the GDP of the United States, and it's $9.428 trillion, okay, which is that 44% of the GDP. Okay, $1 trillion is what the small businesses in the United States contribute to the economy. It's huge. It is in percentage-wise, it's under 48%, 47.3%, and I guess this again is 2008, 2009, 2018, 2019. The stats are not too different, but 47.3%. Okay, of the small businesses in the United States. So that means, guys, that even though, and that's 99.9% of the businesses in the United States are small businesses. 99.9% of the small businesses in the United States are small businesses, or businesses in the United States. So 0.01% of businesses in the United States are considered big business, or in other words, businesses that are over 500 employees. Again, I mentioned introduction of the book. I thought that once you're over 100 employees, you're a big business already. It's just how I always thought. But according to the way that the U.S. government kind of categorizes things, up to 500 employees, it's a small business. Above that, it's big business. So, big companies like Walmart, ExxonMobil, Amazon, Facebook, all these big businesses obviously have thousands and thousands of employees, and they're considered big businesses, but they only make up 0.01% of the businesses in the United States. And that means, guys, that when a small business is closing from 0 to 24 months, it actually, you probably think, well, it's just a drop in the bucket. It is, but the amount of businesses that close, the stats, they keep changing, and the more research I do, the stats change a little bit, but it's roughly about 50% within the first 24 months, maybe 36 months, 50%. That's, guys, that's of 30.7 million businesses. You're talking about 15 million businesses closing probably within the first, 5 years. Let's say the first 5 years of opening. Okay, obviously they consider into that the fact that businesses that have been around close as well. So that's why the stats not 100%, but it is possible to get those stats because they do record when a business opens and when it closes. Okay, so that's why it's important that small businesses are healthy and small businesses are growing, and it's not complicated. It really isn't. Again, read the book. The principles are so simple. You follow the principles here. I truly believe you will have a great, great foundation to get your business solidified, and where you want to make the mistakes that will cause your business to close. I don't talk about marketing here at all, okay? Marketing is something that I eventually want to teach you. Once I get a little bit further down the road, I'm going to teach you about marketing. But right now, if I don't teach you the foundation, and I had a couple of people ask me yesterday, why are you teaching about mindset? I thought you're teaching about business. Why are you teaching about, the mind? Well, I just gave it away. Okay, the big mind. All right. Why are you teaching about minds and stuff like that? Because if I don't set a foundation, if I don't set a good foundation for you to understand what I'm going to teach you, either stuff is just going to bounce off. There will be no fertile ground, and you won't understand it. You really, really won't understand it. It'll just go right through you, because marketing is, although it's very simple, okay, if you don't do it right, you just won't succeed, okay? And your marketing will be just a waste of time and money. So, very important. That's why I'm trying to, kind of set ground rules and mentalities and principles in order for you to get your business off the ground, okay, and growing. So the quicker I can get the mindset and the mentalities and the principles that should be in your mind, the quicker I can start teaching you the principles about business in order to grow your business, in order to get your marketing right, and in order to get all that off the ground, okay? So I just disclosed by mistake the biggest mine in the world, okay? And since, I'm not in a live audience, if I was in a live audience, I would have asked that question live, okay? And right now, I don't even know how many people are watching. I got to put my glasses on for that. All right. But not a lot of people are watching. Okay. But like I said, this is going to be recorded. This is going to stay recorded. But the thing is, the mind is the biggest mine that exists on the face of the earth. The biggest mine. Why? That's where all the riches are. That's where all your riches are. That's where you are going to mine things in order to get them out on paper, get them out on, in a notebook like I did over here. That's where you are going to be able then to share with other people the wealth of information, the wealth of experience, the wealth of mistakes that you've made. Okay, I'm going to be sharing that all with you with time. I'm going to be sharing the mistakes that I've made over time, and how you can avoid them. Obviously, that's kind of what I talk about in the Small Business Destruction Guide. So, the mind is the biggest mine that exists on the face of the planet, and that's where you are going to be able to mine the greatest wealth for you. And when I told you just a couple of minutes ago that when I started in 2019 to study again, to read books and everything, all I was doing is accessing the mine, okay, that is in here. It's the mine. It had kind of been shut down, not shut down completely, but if you read the book at the end, the last chapter, I talk about, I put my business into a comatose state. All right. That's at the end of 2013. I just said, I had worked for 5 years flat out, pretty much day and night. And I said, I'm going to put this business on a comatose state. I didn't have that term at the time. I didn't understand that. But I just said, you know what? I've built it up to this way. And I'm just going to, raise the sails. I'm going to let the wind blow. And very, very fortunately, the work that I'd done for 5 years really solidified a good amount of clientele, a good amount of business that I had built up that has really brought me even to this date. And the thing is that I call that the comatose state because I wasn't active then. If you go on YouTube and you see the videos specifically for that business that I put out, they all end at the end of 2012. I didn't put a single video out after 2012. And yet my businesses, that particular business grew, okay, for up until today. It grew and grew and grew. It's kind of plateaued a little bit, but that's because I kind of expected that to happen. So I put my business on a comatose state in order for me to do certain things that I wanted to do. One of them was write the book, okay, that came out in 2015. And then I took some classes and courses that, is what has gotten me to this point to be able to even kind of move into a different rail, a different line, okay, a train line, so that now I can help businesses to grow their, help you, business owners, or even business owners wannabes, entrepreneur wannabes, to get your businesses growing and to the point that you can either sell it or, keep working hard at it to keep it growing. All right. There's a lot of things I'm going to teach you about small businesses, but the stats are just what I shared with you is the percentages. The 99.9% of the businesses in the United States are small businesses. And if we can get those healthy, if we can get those strong, okay, by good, solid principles, then businesses will not only survive, but grow and continue adding to the GDP, okay, in a very positive fashion. And more people, okay, will probably, and that's another goal of mine, is to have more people be encouraged and be encouraged and I'm thinking in a different language, I'm sorry, but encouraged is the word. Being encouraged to start a small business and not be fearful of starting a small business and, what can happen, can I succeed, can I fail? Again, if you just read this, just the first few principles, the first chapter of this book really, really will help you to understand how and why and what you should really be doing to start a new business. Okay, because it all has to do with mindset. Where your mind is set, that is where you will go, and that's where you will, in essence, succeed. Okay, so let's get back to the mind. The mind, okay, your mind, specifically, your mind is the biggest mine on the face of the planet. It's the biggest mine in the world. And you have to access it. You have to either mine it, and the way you mine it is you chisel away at the space that's in there in order to then get stuff out. And the way you get stuff out is, like I just said, either by personal experience, failures, stuff that you've learned, and you consistently should be learning. You should be consistently learning in order to fill the mine up with raw materials that then are transformed inside your mind in order to come out as diamonds, as gold, as platinum, whatever you want to mine out of that afterwards. That's what happens. So you put a bunch of stuff in there, okay, and then what happens is, as you mine and as that processes in your very excellent and very rich and wealthy mine, what happens is you will then create diamonds and gold and platinum. And that is what I really, really hope. That is what my goal, my prayer, my dream, my passion is, to help you, okay, the small business owner, okay, by giving you the diamonds, the gold, the platinum that I have been able to mine and to be able to process out of my mind, and I'll pass it on to you. And then my hope and my goal is, and my hope and my dream is that you will do the same. And whatever I teach you here, then you can go out and teach somebody else similar things. And as your businesses grow, and as your then clientele follows you or buys from you, whether it's a service or a product, okay, maybe you can teach them some of these principles that I teach you, that I'll be teaching you here. Okay, so again, this is just a way that hopefully I can help you set a mentality, a mindset that I shared about yesterday. I don't know where my sword is. I think I put it away earlier on. Okay, but if you saw the video yesterday, the live yesterday, I use a double-edged sword. Okay, and you can use it, and I called it COVID or Corona. All right, you can use it either to open paths for you, or you can turn it on you and just self-inflict pain on you, and possibly even death. The death of your business is mostly what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about your personal physical death. But listen, when businesses fail, and the stats, I haven't really researched the latest stats, okay, of small businesses that fail, and then the level of even suicides that happen after that. But in the book, okay, I do tell the story of one situation that happened, a few years ago, before I started doing what I'm doing. It was around 2006 or 5, 6, somewhere like that, that a small business owner, okay, a franchisee, okay, committed suicide because his business failed. He actually had 2 franchises, and they failed, all right? And he eventually committed suicide. Why? Because when he failed, he lost all his money. He had invested pretty much all of his kids' inheritance and everything into these 2 businesses. They failed. His wife left him with the kids. Okay, he lost everything, and then he lost the desire, the will to live, and eventually committed suicide. So this happens frequently around the world. And I'm just talking about the stats of the United States, guys. I'm not even talking about world stats. I obviously, fortunately, because of the internet and the platforms that we have here in front of us today, okay, in front of me, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, I'm able to go around the world. I'm going to be talking about that, and it's a no-brainer. I'm sure every single person that's on this is, that's watching this now and that will watch, will obviously not only agree but understand that. Today we have platforms that we can do stuff that only 20 years ago you'd have to pay millions of dollars. I'd have to pay millions of dollars to get my content out like this in a TV network. And, pretty much almost impossible for a small business owner. And today we can do that by the click of a few buttons, and we're live, and right now I'm not reaching a lot of people, okay, because this is new, this is going to grow. But eventually, I can have hundreds and hopefully thousands of people watching these, and I'm teaching. And obviously, the more people are on, the more I'm going to be excited to teach, and the more content I want to give out. Okay, but very important, guys. Small businesses, not only here but around the world. And like I said, I just go back to talking about the double-edged sword. You can either use COVID, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, as a double-edged sword to, charge forward and open up paths for you, or you can, turn it against you and inflict pain and possible even business death on yourself. Hopefully, prayerfully, if I can have just an inkling, a very small inkling of influence on you in order to discourage you, dissuade you from turning that, double-edged sword on you, if I could just do that, okay, and hopefully change not only your business, but also your life around, there will be nothing more gratifying in my life than knowing that eventually, and hopefully I will have people commenting and just really saying how hopefully I will be able to impact and change your businesses and your lives around in that way. Okay. I definitely had people that were mentors, people that helped me as I was growing, my business, people that I was able to stick very close to and learn a lot from, and that, eventually became very big mentors for me, to where I, didn't make as many mistakes as I could have, because I was following in their footsteps and doing the stuff that they did in order to get their businesses to a level that I wanted to get mine. Okay, so very important. And give me a second. For those of you that are here in Massachusetts, and I guess the whole of New England, it's piping hot today. Very, very hot. Okay, had to take a ice cold shower before I came down today to the studio because it is like extremely hot, and we've got the ACs going and still very hot. But anyway, folks, this is the second live. I don't even know what time it is. The time is now. All right, so we've been going for 35 minutes. Something I want to talk to you about, mindset and the mind again. Now, if you noticed yesterday, for those of you that watched the video yesterday, and I'm just going to comment real quick about my ADDHD, okay, that, when I'm getting rolling today, I'm a little bit more controlled. Okay, I don't take any medicine, but I definitely, my thoughts go way beyond where I am. And so those of you that, have the blessing of ADDHD, all right, you understand that. But a lot of things distract me. That's why nobody's allowed to come anywhere close to the studio when I'm recording, okay? And it's extreme silent and extreme everything down here, because I get very easily distracted. But the thing is, if you noticed yesterday, I started going, I think a couple of times I did it, because when I rewatched the video, I was like, oh my goodness, there he goes. But, so today I've actually taken a couple of notes just so that I don't forget, and I stay really on point on how, I want to direct this conversation. You got to understand, folks, everything I'm going to teach you and tell you here, I'm not going to have any scripts. I'm not going to have any, nothing. Everything I'm going to teach you is going to be from all the experiences that I've had and everything that I've learned, and the way that I've run my businesses. And so I want to pass that on to you without any scripts at all. There's not going to be scripting, or I'm not going to be reading anything. At most, I have little notes here that I want to, kind of have been jotting down. And so I want to keep that so I can stay on point. But there's two things about mindset that came to mind after yesterday's live. And I mentioned about this yesterday, there's an open mindset and there's a closed mindset. And let me just kind of deepen a little bit about those two mindsets. There's a couple of excellent books that I encourage you to read. Excuse me. One of them is The Millionaire Mindset. Okay. And then the other one, I will have those down tomorrow with me so that I can, tell you the authors and so on. So if you want to go and buy them. And then there's another one that it's mindset. It's something mindset that, I actually read last year, one of the books that I read last year. And the mindset that the open mindset that I want to teach you about today is, this is what an open mindset is. It's when you see opportunities, okay, in just about everything. An open mindset is when you see opportunities in everything. And the very most common everything that, a lot of the cliche or the what you call it, the tagline or whatever, the thing that a lot of people use that talks about this using anything as an opportunity is, the people that take lemons and they make lemonade. Lemon is somewhat of a sour fruit. It's not something that I happen to be able to, myself and my youngest daughter, okay, we happen to be able to eat lemons like they're oranges. I can eat a lemon right now like it's an orange. I don't go, I don't make that funny face, whatever. It literally is like an orange to me. Okay, so, but in general, people that eat a lemon, it's something sour. It's not something that is very appetizing, like an orange, for example. So when people say that, that guy, he took lemons, he made lemonade out of it, all it means is that he took something that, if you put in front of somebody, what am I going to do with a lemon? And you make lemonade, which is something that, at least in the United States, is not only a big money maker, especially for young kids, because they make lemonade stands out of their homes. So for those of you that are watching around the world, I know you've seen it in the movies, so it's nothing new. I'm not exposing anything, or revealing anything new to you. But the, so when you make lemonades out of lemon, it's basically you take something that is kind of somewhat useless and you make it into something that is very profitable. Okay, so an open mindset is somebody that sees opportunities in everything. What is everything right now? Or what is something that people are not seeing the opportunities right now in 2020 in the whole entire world? It's COVID-19. It's the coronavirus. Okay, so people that are not seeing the coronavirus as an opportunity will struggle and possibly go through a lot of pain in the next few months and possibly even years, because they're not looking for opportunities during this time. Okay, I already had created my opportunity long before coronavirus came. Like I just told you in the beginning of this live, in 2019, I started creating what I'm creating, what I'm doing right now in front of you. Okay, I started working towards that. Beginning of 2020, I then started putting it into practice, getting the logo registered, doing everything. Okay, and that is basically when coronavirus hit in March. And then my opportunity was there. It hasn't, I know where I'm going. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. But opportunities, I don't know what business you're in. But no matter what business you're in, even if you're in a job, there are great opportunities, even if you're in a job situation. Okay, I really wish I could just fast forward and start teaching you about marketing yourself. You see, marketing, you have to market yourself first, and then you market your business. All right, it's a principle I'm going to teach you about marketing. Okay, you have to market yourself first. If you don't know how to market yourself, forget it. You will never be able to market your business. All right, maybe you are your business. Like in my case, I am my business. I am my brand. Okay, so unless you know how to market, so I really wish I could just fast forward and teach you, but I can't. I have to teach you these basic principles, these foundations, in order to help you then build further up. Okay. But an open mindset sees opportunities in every and any situation. I learned that many years ago, and I've always kind of been that way. Okay, my family kind of knows. They've seen, from South Africa when I was little. I would always see opportunities. In fact, in the beginning of the live, the second business that I told you about was because I saw an opportunity. I was creating. Well, I first had the designing business that was designing signs for this Bank Corp, which is a bank corporation, and eventually I was hired by one of the banks to work in them as a designer because I studied architecture. And then I also went to technical high school, so I did interior design. But the bank technically hired me to do architecture on CAD because I had also worked in an architect's firm before that. Kind of a long story, but eventually the company that I was actually designing for when I was 16, 17, all right, they got rid of their art director because I was doing all of her work and they were paying me pretty much more money, all right, than her on a full-time salary. So eventually I went to that company. While I was there, like I said, this is a company that makes plexiglass signs. So I'm talking in the United States, plexiglass, South Africa, and in the Queen's English, it's called Perspex. Okay, so Perspex signs, plexiglass signs, and I would see dumpsters full of plexiglass, the offcuts being thrown out, and that's where I had an idea, an opportunity, okay, where I saw lemons being thrown away. And I said, hey, I can make a hole through cut them into squares, rectangles, whatever, okay? Make a hole, put a design on it, and then put a clock mechanism through there. And that was technically my clock business that then I started selling. And before I moved to the United States, that kind of was what I was making some money on the side, okay? Even though I was still working full-time at the firm, all right, at the signage company. So again, seeing lemons as lemonade, seeing opportunities where they are not apparent to others. And yet, if you have an open mindset, an open mind, if you are mining, okay, if you understand that the mine is in here, the wealth is in here, it's not, when I was asked that question for the first time, I'm from South Africa. Some of the biggest mines, gold mines, diamond mines are in South Africa, Kimberley, all right, and some of the other, mines in some of the states in South Africa, the northern states especially, okay, where they mine gold. Well, here's the thing. I thought when I was asked that question, where's the biggest mine in the world? Automatically I said, hey, South Africa. Luckily I didn't say that out loud because I thought it in my head. Otherwise, I'd have been embarrassed because the answer, okay, of the guy that was doing the seminar, okay, was it's right there. It's in your noggin. All right. Right in here is the biggest mine in the world. Either you mine it or somebody else will mine theirs. And then it goes back to my saying that I've, that's my tagline. That's my motto. It's whatever you want to call it. Go. It's yours for the taking. Because if you don't, somebody else will. Okay, so go. It's yours for the taking. It's all there. If you don't take it, if you don't mine it, you will not be successful, whether it's in life or whether it's in your business. Okay, and a lot of these principles that I'm teaching about business also obviously apply to your life. Okay, so that is the open mindset, is seeing opportunities, okay, where maybe somebody else doesn't or where they're not obvious. Okay, that's the open mindset. The closed mindset, that is where you see just the obstacles that are in front of you. Okay, and I wrote this down because I had a brainstorm. Okay, this is not something I read in a book, although the books kind of give you that information, and I kind of came up with my own lines. Okay, so closed mindset is the mindset that sees only what's in front of them. So If what's in front of you is a gold nugget, hey, you're going to be rich. And you grab that, you go to a bank, a jewelry store, whatever, and you sell your gold nugget, you take your money home. But I've noticed that a lot of times, literally every time that a person with a closed mindset, with a closed mind, okay, gets a gold nugget, a diamond, something extraordinarily precious in their hands, and whether they exchange that for money or not, they, in essence, very soon, in a very short period of time, lose that. They lose it. They either waste it, spend it, they don't invest it, they gamble it away, whatever. Okay? And a great example of this, or a great proof of this, okay, again, I don't know what it's like in Europe, Portugal, wherever else somebody's going to watch this, even in South Africa, but in the stats in the United States. And listen, people are the same in the United States. They're the same in Europe. They're the same in Africa. They're the same in Asia Minor, Asia, doesn't matter. People are the same. The human being, okay, no matter what color, race, creed, religion, doesn't matter. The stuff that is in our hearts are all the same, okay? So I would dare to say that if somebody in another country, but here in the United States, the lottery, okay, the lottery, that sometimes now there's lotteries that are in the hundreds of millions of dollars, okay? When the research happens that they go back to some of these people that won the lottery, okay, most of them, and most is, I've seen stats that were like 80, 85, 90, all the way up to 95% of the people that won millions of dollars, lose them within the first year of winning the lottery. Why? Closed mindset. Closed mindset. They were given gold, diamonds, whatever it is, and they did not know what to do with it because they never had an opportunity mindset. They just had, I have this mindset. And so what is in front of a closed mindset, that is what the mind sees. Now, what if it's COVID-19? What if it's COVID-19 that is in front of a closed mindset person? Well, let me tell you what happens. Okay? Let me tell you what happens with a closed mindset person when they see COVID-19. They either sit and wait until the government, until a doctor, a pharmaceutical company, a whoever or whatever comes and removes COVID-19 from within their path. Okay? And so they wait, and they wait, and they wait. And while they're waiting, their businesses are falling apart. Their lives are falling apart. Their families are falling apart. Their finances are falling apart. Just about everything falls apart because they're waiting. That's a closed mindset person. Okay. I told you yesterday, and I've been telling people, as many people as I can over the past few months, stop watching the news. If you're a business owner, if you're a business owner wannabe, if you're a human being and you're watching cable network, you're watching cable network news, CBS, ABC, CBC, whatever is, whatever, okay? These networks only make money when people like you, okay, sit in front of that rectangle and watch it. That's it. They only make money. So the only thing that's going to keep you attracted to that rectangle is a simple fact that they put out news that is appealing to you, that is going to create fear, and fear will get you stuck to that thing. Listen, if you're a small business owner and you're still watching TV, trust me, I want to challenge you. I would love to challenge you. If you can tell me that between now and December 31st, 2020, you are watching TV and the news every day, and you are successful, okay, you are able to grow your business, okay, to another level because you've been watching TV every day and the news and how many people are dying and how many new cases of COVID are happening. if you are successful, I truly and honestly will, you tell me who you are, okay? Write me an email, ozzy@ozzysimos.com, and you send it to me, and I will bring you live. By December, I'm sure there'll be hundreds, and my hope and prayer is that there'll be thousands of people watching these lives. I will bring you on so that you can teach all of us the principles that you lived by watching TV, okay, the news every day to grow your business. And again, like I mentioned yesterday, unless you're a funeral home, that you have to prepare for all the deaths. But even then, you don't have to watch the news, because the hospitals are going to be contacting you to tell you how many bodies you need to prepare for. And it's an unfortunate thing. Death is an unfortunate thing. I have to keep watching the time because I do have to prepare for the Spanish live that's coming up right after this. Okay. And again, please, if you know anybody that's Spanish speaking and they would benefit from, listening to this and learning this, please share as soon as possible, and get them on the live. I don't even know if I'm going to get any people, because I'm just getting this started, but I know that this is going to snowball and it's going to grow. But here's the thing, guys. So if you're watching TV, it's going to be literally impossible to look. If you're watching TV and you're not even watching the news, okay, if you're watching sitcoms or anything, I haven't watched a sitcom. Oh Lord, I think the last time I watched a sitcom must have been early 2000s. I'm not even kidding. Early 2000s. I cannot remember watching a sitcom since then. All right, any sitcom at all. All right. So when I do watch something, it's either something educational. For a long time, I used to watch, HGTV when I was, remodeling homes and at least my building and stuff like that, trying to learn some stuff. So anything educational, History Channel, the National Geographic, something like that. I always try to learn something when I'm watching TV. Okay. CNBC, where I watch Shark Tank, a lot of business information. Sometimes I sit in front of Shark Tank, and for those of you in the United States, if you never watched it and you're a business owner, watch it. You'll learn a lot from that. But I'll actually sit down and take notes in front of Shark Tank in order to learn some of the principles that I learned there. Okay, so or that they share then. All right, so folks, I've got to really finish up here in a second, but think about this. Think about the mindset that you have. Do you have an open mindset that where whatever is in front of you, okay, whether it's an opportunity, okay, if it's gold, what are you going to do with it? You're just going to blow it, or you're going to invest it. You're going to make that grow. All right. Or if you see lemons, if you see plexiglass, you're going to make clocks out of it. All right. That business, I then, when I was living in Long Beach, California, before I moved to Massachusetts, I started that business up again. I went to a signage company in Long Beach, downtown Long Beach. I asked them if I could grab all of their offcuts for free. Started selling clocks again. In fact, every now and then on Facebook, I've had, not recently, but a few years ago, I actually still had, friends who bought some of my clocks saying, hey, I still got my clock. Okay. And they're all, a lot of them were, well, not all of them were hand painted, clocks by me with, silly designs and stuff like that. But, are you going to see opportunities in what's around you? When you see COVID, do you see an opportunity? All right. Or do you see something that paralyzes you because of fear? We're going to get into fear. I'm going to teach you about fear and all of that. All right. So tomorrow, the live is going to be at 6 p.m. again. All right. And 6 p.m. in English, 7 p.m. in Spanish, 8 p.m. in Portuguese. I'll be back here. So I'm going to sign off now. Please share this. So if you're watching now, I know I can just see that there's not too many people still. But if you watch this tomorrow, and that's also because a lot of people that watch this in South Africa, and Joe, oh my goodness, Joe is watching in Australia. Oh my goodness, if I tell you about Joe, you're going to cry. But I will share about Joe probably tomorrow. Joe, I love you, man. I love you. It was a great conversation we had this morning. Really great conversation. I'm so glad you're watching. I'm so encouraged. You just made my day. All right, guys. I got to sign off because I'm getting emotional, and I'll tell you why soon. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. English, 7 p.m. Spanish, 8 p.m. Portuguese. If you know anybody that speaks any of those languages, including English, please share. Please tell your friends, and hopefully, I will be able to help you to change your life, change your business, and grow your life and grow your business. I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy. And oh, don't forget, go. It's yours for the taking. Because if you don't, somebody else will, and they'll take it from you. And YouTube is last.